गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में आपका फिर से स्वागत है। आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने वरुण बेवरेजेस के बारे में मुझे बोलने के लिए रिक्वेस्ट की है और उसके बारे में आज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ। गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव रिक्वेस्टेड दैट आई शुड टॉक अबाउट वरुण बेवरेजेस एंड सो आई थॉट आई विल टॉक अबाउट इट. Varun Beverages is a part of RJ Corporation. RJ Corporation has a lot of franchisees. Varun Beverages primarily deals with Pepsi. It has some other products. It's basically a bottle of Pepsi. Pepsi supplies the syrup. These guys settle up the bottling plant. They mix it with carbonated water and you get Pepsi. They manufacture all the range of products for Pepsi, Miranda, 7-Up, etc. They also make packaged juices for Pepsi, their Tropicana brand. And they also help them pack their mineral water, Aquafina. Pepsi owns the brand. Pepsi takes care of the marketing. The bottling and distribution is done by Varun Beverages. There are other distributors. Varun Beverages is not an exclusive distributor. This I want you to understand fully. From the time the IPO has come, the stock has given 3 bonuses and has been split once. So basically what has happened is, if you had 2 shares, you would have got 1 share. So your 10 shares would have become 16, 24 and 36 shares. So in an IPO, the minimum lot was 33 shares. For 33 shares, you would have got 16. Then 16, you would have got another 24. And 24, you would have got another 36. Totally, you would have 109 shares today if you bought 33 shares in an IPO. And so you would have made more than 1,70,476 on today's valuation. But the point remains whether I will buy it today. Yes, in hindsight, we could have bought it when the IPO was made. Today, will I buy it? The answer is no. Why will I not buy it? Because 85% of the revenue comes from India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. 15% of its revenue comes from Africa. Varun Beverages primarily concentrates with one big corporate. So all your big investments are tied with one big corporate. Tomorrow, a future Pepsi management does not take a fancy for Varun Beverages and cancels the contract, then Varun Beverages has to look for another big brand to tie up to use these facilities. This is a long shot, may not happen, but I do not want to take the risk. Varun Beverages has been around since the early 90s, so it's a very old, mature company. The EPS of Varun Beverages is 25 and the current price is 1569. So you have nearly a 60 times discount of earnings. That is, to get 1 rupee of profit, I have to spend 61 rupees. This is the P by E ratio, like I told you yesterday. If I put 61 rupees in a bank, I'll get 7%. 7% of 63, I'll get 4 rupees at least. 4 rupees and 30 paisa. So I'm sacrificing 3 rupees 30 paisa in this case. What do I get in exchange is something which I will have to debate. If this were indeed owning Pepsi brand, then I'll be very happy to buy this. Like I told you in case of Hindustan Unilever and Nestle, if I won't buy Pepsi in America, I will own substantial interest in Varun Beverage. It is a strategic interest. When Varun Beverage is dependent on me for making profits, so I will suck out most of the profits and leave very little in the table for Varun Beverages or its shareholders. Therefore, if you are really serious about buying this company, you can buy Coca-Cola abroad or you can buy Pepsi. Both are similar. At 25.8 and at the following price, the earnings yield comes out to 2.4%. That is, for every 100 rupees if I invest in an FD, I'll get 7%. If I invest in Varun Beverages, I will get only 2.4%. There is also substantial debt at play here. That is, for every 1 rupee of the equity funds, there is 0.75% of debt. So this company has a lot of debt. I rather that the owner decides to bring down debt rather than expanding equity by giving bonuses and splitting the stock. So there is a debt overhang in this business, and which I don't like, because everybody pays in cash for Pepsi. So if everybody is paying in cash and the money is circulating very quickly back to Varun Beverages, there is no need for them to borrow. The fact that they have borrowed in a business which does not require much working capital must ring alarm bells. And for such a company, it is very surprising that the market has given 61 times of its earnings. The promoter himself owns 64% of the company. The FII is 26%. As expected, domestic investors who know the business have not invested in this company. It's only at 4%. The float available for the public to trade is 6%. The reason this company is really doing well in the stock price is the non-availability of stocks. Since fewer stocks are available, prices are being driven up very quickly. The company has a stable long-term contract with Pepsi and is making cash flow out of it. The company does not own a single brand on its own, but is riding on somebody else to provide the brand. The stock is in the news today because its market cap has crossed 1 trillion. That is 1 lakh crore. It has become India's 48th most valuable company. That there are 47 companies which are more than 1 trillion in India. A trillion is 1 lakh crore. So the geographical split, I already told you, 85% of the business comes in the South Asian region, primarily India, and 15% of the valuation comes from Africa. So Africa and India are the major business centers for Varun Beverages. 70% of the volume comes from carbonated soft drinks, that is basically Pepsi, Miranda, 7-Up and Sprite. 23% comes from packaged drinking water, which is basically packaging Aquafina. 7% comes from non-carbonated food, through which it has made a lot of investments. So I will not buy Varun Beverages at this price because the earnings yield is very poor, the cost is very high, the earnings don't justify it. Like I said in Pidilite, when the results come in Varun Beverages, you will be disappointed at the amount of yield you are getting. So it's very important not only to have money, but to put money to work. The earnings yield as a concept tells us how much return you will get if you have invested 100 rupees in this company. Thank you for watching पैसा बोलता है. पैसा बोलता है में आपने मेरा वीडियो को देखा, इसके लिए मैं आपका बहुत आभारी हूँ. If you like the content, hit the like button of this video, subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will not be notified every time we put out a video. Once again, I thank you for your support for पैसा बोलता है. पैसा बोलता है में फिर से आपका स्वागत है. मैं सिंगापुर गया था. सिंगापुर में सब भारतीय लोग मुझे प्यार से स्वागत किया और जो मीटिंग हुआ उसमें तो बहुत सारे अतिथियों से मुलाकात हुई और ये तो कंप्लीट सक्सेस हो गया. अगले मीटिंग जून 11 रविवार को हम कोलालमपुर में करने वाले हैं. जो कोलालमपुर में रहते हैं वो मीटिंग में आ सकते हैं और मुझे मिल सकते हैं. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार. जय हिंद.